All right, so as you guys can see here, we have our challenge for the day. We're looking at the Fang style putters from Odyssey and Tunex, and we're also looking at the Fang style GT putter as well as Bandon, the Hydroblast Bandon from TaylorMade. Again, what I'm trying to do here is evaluate on my short ones, which helps me make this, which gives me the most consistency from straight. And then my Achilles heel is my left to righters, which help me the most in keeping the ball on line. We have a lot of different things that are going on. We've got necks, we have alignment pieces. Here we have just a center alignment, right? Then we also have materials and finishes and looks. If we look at this guy, right? Here's a GT, Fang style, stability with that short line. Then we have obviously in the Callaway's using the double line here. And this one is the CH. We have what's called a crank hosel. And then we have the traditional slant neck, but it's called the nano. And there's a little bit more technology here in terms of what's going on, where the shaft is placed, and what that does to the head, toe hang, etc. You know, over the last couple of videos, there's been a lot of chatter in the comments about shaft and flow and all those things. I'm excited to test these with you guys. Let's get it going. We're gonna get on that chalk line and just get some feels. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Bandon. Again, we're just looking at the ability to actually keep the ball down the line. Obviously, you know, as a more accomplished player, we won't see a ton of movement here. What I'm actually gonna start looking at and seeing is how I release the putter here. Last one you saw, it just came off the line just a touch. That one's just starting to touch right. So those are things that I'm looking out for in my evaluation. Yeah, that one comes off right. Let's take a look real quick. I'm gonna use these guys. I'm gonna use the pills, the 2 pills. See how I release it here. Okay. So that was face closed a little bit. Push the white pill off, and then little cut stroke, which is why the red one went out to the right. Okay, so I'm just being aware, face gets a little bit right on this. Obviously that's gonna be with what I call the internal weighting system. Maybe there's more weight out on the toe. So now we're looking at an interesting putter, the nano. The nano here, you can see that neck doesn't actually go at the way to the head, it goes behind the head. So there's a different flow to that. Ooh, that one went left immediately. Interesting. That offset and the head. Okay, you can see that travel down the line differently than the Bandon, right? And that's the point of this whole thing, is what is gonna get me down the line consistently. Yeah, I mean, this is a totally different flow. Looks like a mallet. Maybe even puts a little bit more like a blade with stability. Yeah, the toe doesn't feel quite as heavy on this guy as with the TaylorMade. I'm gonna move back here. Should be a little left right now, so we'll start at just a hair left of the line. Yeah, there's something nice to that. Again, that's the nano slant neck. Bam, little assist from one guy to the next. Okay, so now we got to do a 2-pill drill with the nano. Let's watch the difference in flow. Something that a lot of people don't realize, that you have to be careful about when you go from putter to putter. you actually can, it's kind of like tasting wine, you know? You have to be careful about how quickly you judge a wine there, because it might, you know, the wine hanging out on the palate, the effect of one putter to the next might change the way you stroke it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's really not bad there. So we're already seeing a difference. To me, I could feel it in the weighting of the head. Now let's go to the same head, the CH, that crank hosel. This is an inch shorter, but I'm gonna just make a adjustment bending a little bit more from the waist. But let's just see the feel and the shaft. Now we're dealing with something a little bit more offset. I could definitely see a little bit different in my stroke already. We'll have to use. So let's set up a 2-pill drill and see how that CH will work, that crank hosel. I like it. Yeah, and I've played, you know, a lot of you guys think that I'm in comments, you know, oh, you know, this is only working for your stroke, that kind of thing. There's a lot of different combinations that can work for people's strokes. I kind of, it's a putter by putter basis, really. We don't want to, I don't want you guys to think that there's a putter that, I mean, there might be a putter that you can't play just because there's not enough weighting options or neck options and things like that. There's just, you could play any putter, you just have to know what it does. So I'm not like a proponent for this putter or that putter. It's just that once we choose the putter, we have to know exactly what it does. Here is the Spider GT Fang there. You can see it with that. All right, let's putt a couple. We'll roll a 2-pill drill on it. So the idea behind these guys was that it's supposed to be, it's the feel and movement of a blade with the look of a mallet, and it's supposed to be more stable, right? So if you look at it, there's a cutout in here with stability. And the idea is that if you kind of hit it off the toe, you're not gonna lose as much on the line, right? The MOI is very high on it. So those are some of the things. However, when you do things like that, where you might reinforce an area, there are some ways that it makes the golfer respond. And everybody can be slightly different, and that's okay. So let's see a 2-pill drill. Again, I'm just looking for the release here, how the head comes through. Face a little closed on that one. Pretty good. It's feeling similar to the Bandon in terms of like heavier at the toe, and that's one of that's one of the signatures that I've noticed about the Spiders for me is that I start to feel like it's going to turn over and rotate, and then the toe weighting pulls in a little bit. All that means is that really when I'm looking at for me the left to righters, and if I don't release the face, right, I'm gonna hit more of a cut. So those are the things that I need to pay attention to for me. If you release the club, you might have more opportunities to play more putters, but that's the same thing with a driver or irons, right? There are some irons with their weighting, they have more weighting at the toe for forgiveness, but it also, what happens when you weight the toe down in irons? They're gonna go right. So depending on your swing, and it's the same thing for me, I have to customize, I have to get used to the putter. Here's the second of our GTs, right? They have now the alignment on the top instead of the bottom. Same idea. This is the hosel that goes through there. So they make the same heads, but then they can just change the hosels. And this neck is just behind the face as well. Feels different. Maybe it's the alignment. Feels like it flows just a touch different, but Something definitely better for me on this one than the other. Let's roll a 2-pill. Again, check the release. When I check the release, that's what I'm really looking for. And then we'll start to roll these guys left to right. That's really kind of solid. I'll do one more. Interesting. I think this is the one that Jason Day plays. He's been playing spiders. You know, a lot of guys on tour are playing those. I hate to tell you guys, they're playing the slant necks. But let's take a look. One more. Yeah, I like it. So far out of the spiders, out of the 2 spiders, the GT with the weighting on top. Now if we look, there is a different design in terms of the internal weighting mechanism, right? You can see the weighting on this, it goes up. So maybe this is higher. CG might be a little bit higher just because of the construction. I'm not 100% sure, but all of those things definitely affect them. Let's roll some left to righters. Okay, so we'll go back down the line with where we started. I set up a tee there. I set up a tee for my high point. That's my start line. It should roll inside that once I pass it. I'm a little tentative, obviously, because these are fast greens in general, so yeah, I'm missing my line. Getting the face a little bit too far left. And again, the whole point of this stuff with the testing is for us to see which putter does best for us. So that was the Bandon. Let's go to nano. Face is different. Neck is different. This is the slant one, the 7. Yeah, there's an ease about that, about getting that online. I spent some time yesterday going over my lines, and I was finding that on my left to righters, I was really missing them left. But this guy, maybe it's the alignment on this, I don't know. That one was just face open. That one felt pretty good, felt easy with the speed. The Bandon, I think I was just a little bit tentative to hit it, but the face definitely felt different. That's a different conversation. And there it is. There's that. This is, like I had told you guys, this one is the one that I would fit into if I was playing the 7. It's the CH. It's that crank hosel. Oddly enough, the plumber's neck doesn't work for me on blades, but with the mallet, for some reason, there's that combination maybe of head rotation and alignment, but it somehow works out. And you can see I'm hitting my line that I want. You know, PGA Tour average from here is not going to be very high. It's going to be less than 20%. So I'm liking this guy so far. Face-wise, I feel like the feedback is there. Let me go back to the Bandon real quick, because you can say, oh, well, you've been putting now. But let me see. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Let's do some more. Let's get back into the TaylorMades now. All right, so now we're looking at the Spider GTs. We're looking at the first one with that alignment down lower. Let's get a feel. Yeah, there's that little baby pull starts to come in. I definitely feel something different going on in the GT line in terms of the way it moves on the way through, the way it flows as the ball, I call the release, right, as I release it. Now, a lot of people don't realize they either fade the ball or draw the ball. Yeah, there's that. This guy I struggled with, right? Again, I call that the internal weighting mechanism, internal weighting system that's going to happen, right? Obviously, when you move weight around, there's something that changes. Yeah, obviously that's way better. So, interesting stuff. Yeah, So if you're, I mean, if you're more of a blade player, there's definitely a huge difference. Like if you wanted to move to a mallet because maybe you believe the MOI is higher and that's more forgiving, for sure, out of those putters, out of the TaylorMade, yeah, I mean, I can hit my line so much better. Really different. So I have my 2 clear winners. I mean, let's do it. Let's wrap it up because this was interesting. Not something I expected. Okay, guys. So really interesting thing here that the 7CH and the GT with the short line on top, right? With the short line on top, and like I said, there's a different kind of like, seems to feel, to me at least, a different weighting mechanism going on within the heads. Again, I tested them, so we had the data. And for me, my biggest things that I need my putters to do is I need them to go straight on my short ones, without a doubt, without me struggling. And then I need my left to righters. I need my left to righters to hit my line and obviously stay on line. With that extra, with the extra offset with the crank hosel / plumber's neck, the mallet works for me best. Again, the TaylorMade GT is really a blade in hiding. It's a blade with stability, similar to a Scotty Cameron 5.5. I didn't include that in this one, but if I'm playing one of these or 2 of these putters, my options are going to definitely be those 2. Again, we can play a lot of different putters. We just have to know what they do, and we have to know what we want out of the putters. So chalk line number 1, and number 2, start finding out left to right, right to left, which are your nemesis of, and don't worry so much about, do I miss? Because the missing is, I mean, from 12 feet to PGA Tours, below 30%. So don't think that the 20 footers that you're missing really indicates something about you or your putter. You just need more to play more golf. I'm sorry, not the putter, but equipment can help your swing fault, or it could hurt your swing fault, or it could hurt your strength, or help your strength, only strengthen it. So fitting is really important, obviously. I hope, again, my point of when I do these videos is to just reveal what works for me. I'm the filter. I'm not the end-all be-all. I'm the filter for the explanation and understanding of my stroke. So I know my dynamics, and I understand how these affect it. But get out there, do some testing, but it's gotta be with a chalk line. It's gotta be with a focus, right? You have a high point. Am I hitting it? Am I missing it? Those kinds of things. But I hope this helps. Anything you want to see, leave in the comments below. Remember, we need to get those subscribers up so I can keep doing more great videos like this. Remember, stay focused and keep practicing.